Came out in the woods today to look for some blowdown logs to cut with the Wood-Mizer. Have a lot of ash trees in this woods, and the emerald ash borers pretty much killed most of the ash trees. So there's still some of them that are good. Some of them have just blown over and still seem to be good for cutting. It makes nice lumber. So let's go look around and see what we got. It looks like possibly an old walnut tree. It's hollow. Got a big ash tree still standing up here right in the center of the screen. I'd say that's probably maybe 24 inches in diameter. Fairly straight trunk. You have to cut these before they get really dried out and dead, because they become brittle and they're very dangerous to cut. They'll actually snap in half or limbs will fall off. So they're dangerous trees to cut when they're completely dead. Here's one on the ground that just flew over recently, and I think should still be in pretty good shape. It's a good saw log. You can see it's got a nice straight trunk with some knots coming off of it. Again, this is probably pushing 24 inches in diameter at the end. Nice black oak. Some little white oak right there. Have a lot of hickory in this woods. A lot of bitternut hickory, shagbark hickory. This is a little bitternut hickory down here. It's 18, maybe 20 inches diameter at the bottom. I use these a lot for 4x4s to stack lumber on. Those trees losing their bark are dead ash trees. There's another bitternut hickory. This woods was logged probably 25 years ago before I bought the place. They did a pretty selective cut on it. Cut most of the nice trees out, like white oak and walnut, cherry. But I've still got some big ones left. This is either a white oak or a chinkapin oak. They're both in the white oak family. Kind of hard to tell the difference sometimes. White oak grove up here on top of the hill. If I seem to be breathing hard, it's because I am. I had open heart surgery about 3 months ago, and I'm still not 100% recovered, although Almost there. And that was a pretty steep grade I just walked up, although the camera never shows it. Somewhere up here I've got a dead white oak that's still standing and I want to get it cut. A nice white oak right there. That's probably 28 maybe or plus. A lot of hard maple in this woods as well, also called sugar maple. Here's an old homemade deer stand. It was here when I bought the place. I found 2 or 3 of those and try to clean them up when I can. There's my dead white oak. It's a real nice size. Not sure why it died. It's a nice size though. It's easy 24 plus inches in diameter at the base. There is a giant ash tree. Old one. Need to get that cut down before it gets any more rotten. This tree's good, but it's dead, but it's still in really good shape. Still be a nice saw log. Most likely going to use the white oak for porch planking when I get my log cabin set up. Haven't quite picked the place to put it yet, but I've got a nice original Kentucky log cabin. It's 18 by 18, story and a half. I've got all the logs stored in my barn. This is the ash tree I pointed out a little bit ago. You can see how big this is. I'm 6'2", 225, pretty big guy, and this tree is about as wide as I am, and it's going to make some beautiful lumber. Another giant one over here. I've got more of these in here than I can take time to cut right now. But I'd like to do it before the weather gets too hot and all the greenery gets growing up. This one's really got a straight trunk on it, and it still looks strong enough to chainsaw down. Got a lot of beech trees in here. Some people call them elephant skin. I was walking through here with the forester, county forester, one time, and he was telling me that this area had a toothpick factory at one point, and he was amazed at how many really large beech trees I had, because most of the beech trees in this area have been cut down, and all the old giant ones are gone because they sold them to the toothpick factory. So he felt like whoever owned this property back at that time did not allow them to cut any of his beech trees. That's why we have so many giant ones. They're on the other side of the farm, not too many in this part of the forest. That's the tallest point on the property. Someday when I retire, I plan on tapping some of these hard walnut or hard maple trees and make some maple syrup. I've always wanted to do that. Right now I just don't have the time. It's a pretty labor-intensive project. This is a shagbark hickory. I think you can see why they call it that. It's really pretty white wood with some dark streaks through it. It's not a money log, and they don't go for very much money in the area, but it's really, really heavy and dense. Makes probably the best firewood around. And there's a species of bat, actually called the Indiana bat, that nests in these shagbarks. They're a very small bat. They're difficult to see, but they like that bark, the shaggy bark. It's where they live, where they make their nests. What you got, Till? What you got, Tilly? Get it. Get that mouse. Big black oak. Got some nice poplar trees. Or technical, the real name for them is tulip tree. A lot of people call them tulip poplar. Kind of a softer wood, but Makes really nice lumber, very beautiful logs. Some of these trees that are dying and bare are actually elm trees and not the ash trees. This one is an ash tree, I believe. A little cherry tree here. My girls love to come out in the woods. That big tree right there, probably a bitternut hickory. Kelly, come on.